Hello my people, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Spirit, Soul, Body. I'm sure you're probably wondering, why am I always in the woods somewhere? Yeah, why am I always in the bush? But for real, if I had to do it at home, the distractions would be endless, from maybe the crying of a baby, the crowing of a rooster, somebody shouting somebody else, music, something, a dog's barking. It's very noisy at Marigo Bay. Well, not at the bay exactly, but Marigo, where I live. And so this is why I always have to find a hideout somewhere to do these videos. So thank you for joining me, and on this episode we are going to talk about value. How valuable are you? What is your value? And I'm not talking about that in the sense of, your self-worth and your self-value. No, I am talking about your value in the marketplace. So before I even go further, we all have value. Inherently, we have value. As a human being, you and I both have equal value, right? We are made in the image and likeness of God. We are created beings. We are all valuable. Whether I am black, white, red, yellow, I have value. And even now with this ongoing conversation of Black Lives Matter, because of the recent killing of a black man, George Floyd, by a police officer, it is actually, the root of it is that black lives have equal value as other lives and should not be treated otherwise, right? Our value should not be based on the race that we share with other people. It's not because I am a black man or a white man, it's not because I am a black lady or a white lady that I should be appropriated certain value. We should all have the same rights and privileges because we are all human beings, right? So having said that, and having put that out there, that we all have the same value as human beings, I want to draw attention to our value in the marketplace. So we could all see how everybody is valued differently in the marketplace. It's how it is. It is how the system is built, especially in a capitalist system. This is how it is. Our value is as a result of different things. But let's just talk about, what do you think your value is? And how do you categorize yourself in terms of the value that you bring to the marketplace? When you think of your value, what do you think about? What are some of the things that come to mind to kind of give us a sum total of your value? So I am very valuable at work because of such and such. What differentiates you from somebody else? And why am I willing to pay you $500 for one task and pay somebody else for that very same task $50? Why is it that as a babysitter I would pay you $50 and I would pay another person $150 to do that very same thing? What has made that person more valuable than you? Or what has made you more valuable than the other person? And that's something that we need to think about, because it doesn't make sense to complain about the system. Or let's say, if I am a low-skilled employee, if I'm a cleaner, if I'm a janitor, to complain about, the fact that a teacher is getting triple your salary. This is how it is, and they are getting paid based on the value that they bring. But what you can do though is to increase your value in the marketplace. You can't beat the system, so why not try to work around it? Why don't you try to do what you can do to increase your value? And if you want to get compensated more, you need to increase your value, because you are being paid for the value that you bring. You know, a lot of times we complain about, for example, why do NBA players get paid so much money? Why do movie stars get paid so much money? And you know, they live lavish lives, they have so many privileges. Why does not a lawyer, a judge get so much money? Why is it that they get paid so much money? But we don't think about what value they bring to the table, how grueling it is to go through the training, the exercise, the discipline that they have to practice in order to get to where they are. Even in our lives, you know, we could barely keep disciplined to do, you know, some minimal exercises, some exercises that don't require that much energy, some exercises that don't require as much from us. We could barely keep focused and disciplined to complete these exercises. And let's just take a football player. They have to practice and practice and practice and practice. They need to wake up early. They need to refine their craft. And then they come to play. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of discipline. And we give them value, or we appropriate their value by how much we are willing to pay to go watch that game. Getting a chance to watch your favorite football player and getting a chance to watch a community football player, for you, you might watch it differently. Why? Because you have considered that one to be more valuable on the field. And it's the same in life, in everything, in the workplace. Each of us are awarded a different value based on our skill sets, based on our expertise, based on our level of education, our qualifications, based on how much we do, how much we bring to the table, how much can the organization get from us, what value we bring to the team. If you're a salesperson, how much sales do you bring in, especially in comparison to others? So you can actually come to your boss and say, hey, I am bringing like 3 times more sales than any other sales officer, and I think I deserve to get compensated more. I think that is something that you could argue for. But just imagine you're bringing in the same amount of sales in terms of the value of those sales. Let's say for the month you are bringing $5,000, $10,000 in sales, and that is comparable to the other sales staff, and you want to argue that you should be paid more. Your boss will think that's ridiculous. Why should you be paid more? What is the difference in the value that you bring in comparison to somebody else? So today I just want to encourage you to increase your value. And how can you increase your value? You increase your value by learning to solve problems. And we know that persons who solve problems are those who will be compensated even more. If we're talking about monetary value, it's as a result of the problems that we solve. So if you're able to solve more problems, then persons watch you as even more valuable. Entrepreneurs learn to solve problems. Your value can also be increased by the things you learn. If you learn to do something that differentiates you from others, of course, you will have increased your value. If, let's say, in a pest control company, and everybody is doing all pests, and you decide you're going to go for a niche market, you're going to set yourself apart. The one pest that everybody does not like to do because it seems like that pest is, well, it cannot be exterminated, you are going to focus on that, and you're going to learn as much as you can, and you're going to do the work so that when people think about that pest, they think this guy is the one for the job, and they think about you. Wouldn't that make you more valuable? Of course it would. Of course it would. You have set yourself apart. You have increased your value to the marketplace. Your value can also be increased by, your expertise. Investing in yourself, investing in your health. One employee calls in sick 5 times for the month. One calls in sick maybe 1 time for the year. Do you think that's not considered when one considers value? Of course it is. So today, I want to encourage you to increase your value, to work towards increasing your value, and not just in the marketplace, not just on your job, but increase your value in your relationships, increase your value in your community, increase your value on the job, wherever. It doesn't matter. Just as a human being, maybe share a word of encouragement, tell somebody something that they would not have heard, that they are important, that they are loved, that they are special, that they are beautiful. Pay somebody a compliment. If you see that person and there's something that person does and they do it beautifully, why not tell them? If there is something that you could do for a neighbor, why not do it? In your personal relationships with your spouses, increase your value, right? So this is what I was planning on sharing with you, and I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to carry that out. I hope that it is of value to you and that you could ponder on it and find ways to increase your value. And I just generally wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Please take the time to like the video and to subscribe and share. Once again, thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest. Adios.